Hi, welcome to Tea Leaves Programming. Today we're gaming like it's 1979. I'm your host, Peter B. Last week, I posted a very brief introduction to Eye of the Beholder 1 on the Sega CD, and we kind of went through it and enjoyed the music, checked out the vibe, and I concluded that video by saying that, it's an interesting curiosity. There are things about that port that are really unique, but that really I would say anyone who wants to do it should probably be using the MS-DOS version. Well, I'm going to actually show you the MS-DOS version today. And this is not so much about Eye of the Beholder. This is more about wanting to take a look at the All-Seeing Eye, which is an automap program. You can see it up here in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, a big yellow window with a small arrow. That's the game currently mapped. So the instructions to install All-Seeing Eye are available on their website. They're a little bit complicated, but nothing too terrible. When all is said and done, what you end up with is the Eye of the Beholder window in one place, and then immediately next to it, to the right of it, the All-Seeing Eye window appears. So let's take a look. We have our 4 characters. We can actually look at them. We've got our paladin, same party as in last week's walkthrough. And so content-wise, for the first level, there's not really going to be anything different or that different here. And as I turn using the number pad, let's see if the number pad works or if I have to. Yes, it does. Great. You can see that the pointer on the map turns with me, and that's All-Seeing Eye doing that. There's no input required here. Now I'm told that All-Seeing Eye actually, I'm going to start exploring the level while we talk. I'm told that All-Seeing Eye actually does a lot more than simply automap. And in particular, the one thing that really jumped out at me is that it supports teleporting. So you can, it's basically akin to a cheat engine. Don't at me if that makes you mad that I said that. But it's akin to a cheat engine and has a lot of interesting things that you can do, supposedly. And I haven't tried any of it yet. We might have an opportunity to try some of that as the day goes on. All right, so we've had our first combat here. So already, I see. So we have those 2 yellow dots, and that seems to be indicating that this is a portal, a doorway that we have gone through. And that's actually an interesting difference between the Wizardry games and the Eye of the Beholder games. Is EOB, you can actually stand in the door, at least in some cases like this. And I don't believe that's true in Wizardry. We have a closed door here. I think this, if I remember correctly, this is a small dead end down here. I'm not making good use of these strafe keys. So you can see it fills in the wall as we walk as well. So it's not doing what we can see, it's doing what we can touch, basically, which frankly is usually how I map myself, so. Oh, and once again, I forgot to memorize spells, so we'll have to take a break and do that momentarily. Alrighty then. We got our first dagger, which is nice. We'll have Ari hold that for me. I am actually very curious. One thing I don't know, I tend to be very religious when playing Eye of the Beholder about always having the people in the back row holding on to multiple throwing items, if they're not using a bow or arrow or something like that. And I don't know if other people do that. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. All right, so this is great. So here we're at a door where there's a button, and indeed on the All-Seeing Eye map, there's a little green button. So does that change color? It does not. Okay, and now as soon as we walk through here, I think there's something I haven't filled in the map, so I want to go back and do that first. Even though I think this is just a dead end, right? No. We were about to step on a pressure plate there, and that pressure plate would have made it so we can't come back. I always love these little environmental touches in this game, so there's no gameplay point that I know of to making the rats or whatever they are in the drains scurry back. Oh, and there's some dudes. Hey, little dudes, you're dead now. Wait, am I getting... Hello, there's more. I don't even see them. I have to say, it is playing a little more sluggish than I remember. People have complained about the Sega CD version as being sluggish, and I'm feeling a little bit of lag here. Now, whether that lag... I'm recording, I've got a lot going on this computer, and of course we have All Seeing Eye itself running, so that could be why I'm feeling that lag. This is the DOSBox version. This is the DOSBox version of Eye of the Beholder, so it shouldn't really be anything too exotic. Let's go ahead and take care of our spells now. Okay. The UI is not great. This is definitely a 1991 game. And let's do his. This is the first time in this game that I have tried, that I'm trying this two cleric mage setup. Usually I would do a paladin, a fighter, and then a mage thief and a mage cleric, or just a cleric up front as a fighter. And then in my most recent games of the 5 ordeals, I started running 2 clerics, and it really was pretty great just having that much healing power available to me. And again, just the details in this game. There's no reason to make that drain give you a message, but they do it. And I really do appreciate that as a practice. Right? Almost anything in the game you'll be able to click on and it won't necessarily do anything, but very often you get a message. Okay, we can't open that yet. We probably have to go this way. And here's the tutorial about... Right. It's definitely not a purist way to play the game with an automapper like this. A lot of what's going on in EOB is that kind of you hit a teleporter and you don't know where you are type disorientation. And obviously this game is really going to change that dynamic quite a lot. In fact, I'm going to Alt tab out here. Can I teleport just by clicking? How does that work? So we've got peak level, explore level, unexplore level, teleport here. Add a note. That's great. Identify all items, item usability tweak, rulebook. That I think takes you to the Dungeons and Dragons rulebook. Character editor. Well, let's try teleport. If we're gonna cheat, we're gonna cheat with a will. Let's say T. Okay, and it just teleports immediately to, yeah, so it doesn't actually do it immediately, but when you go back in, it takes some, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Right, and I think the way that All Seeing Eye is working, again, don't quote me, I haven't done a deep dive on it, is it's actually we're using DOS. There's no protected memory here, right? So it's literally just looking at it. If you want to teleport, it's finding the area in memory, the values in memory that hold the X and Y coordinates and poking those values in, which is kind of cool, I think, frankly. So I don't feel the need to do a lot more with it right now. Let's continue to use it just as an auto mapper. And the one thing I might do is there's, if you recall from the last video, there's that special... Oh, so here's a case where the map is actually spoiling something for me. There's this secret door, and it definitely threw that button up immediately, telling me that it's there. So I don't think that's a huge deal. I have actually very fond memories of playing Eye of the Beholder and spending, hours staring at the textures on the wall looking for the hidden button. I know it seems pretty obvious here on the first level, these big bricks and it's a different color, but as the textures change in the game, it becomes trickier and trickier to find them. I kind of like that. And so that is a substantive change. I think you have to understand that that's what you're getting into if you decide to use a cheat engine like this. But for YouTube video purposes, it's pretty great. Okay. Once again, I remain mystified as to what the algorithm is about picking up. You know what? I think I'm starting to remember. I think that it doesn't pick up rocks. What it will pick up is ammo. And so if you've shot an arrow or rocks and you're holding a sling, I think it will pick those up. That's my recollection, at least. We'll see as we play the game if that proves to be correct. Okay. We've got a button here. This is the one where we need to put something. This is the exit to the level, isn't it? Right, you gotta put something on there and then press that button. But we're not gonna leave the level yet. We're gonna finish the level because there's bits of the map that I haven't filled in yet. Gotta fill in the map. Oop, picked up the, yeah, so right click attacks and left click manipulates whatever it is in your hand. So in that case, I left clicked on the sword and that picks up the sword rather than... Okay. Oh, hello. Ooh, took a nice hit there. Is this the place where I want to put a dagger in? It is. Okay, special class quest for this level, Ginsu. Okay, so now we have this Ginsu. Let's... Does identify... I'm not holding anything secret other than this Ginsu, right? So I'm going to go ahead and choose identify all items. Let's see what it does. I don't think it'll tell... Oh! That's interesting. So it changed the name from Ginsu to Ginsu +4. So now I know that's a +4 dagger. That's a pretty great dagger for second or third level characters to have. That's fantastic. And then the other thing this has is the clue book. Where does that do? All right, so that brings us to the official Eye of the Beholder clue book, which I've never read. I think I need to read that at some point. Let's see, what else we got? Teleport, Explorer level. Peak level probably just temporarily reveals the whole level. Yes. No, it seems to have. Really set the whole level map unexplored. I see. So Peak does it temporarily. That's what's going on there. We've got a character editor. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. What does that do? Oh, that's very deluxe. This doesn't fit here, But absolutely, we can change whatever we want about these characters. I don't see their status of being alive or dead, but who knows? Maybe that'll become... Oh, we could outfit them. You can give someone a Ring of Protection +2 right away. So you could really break the game with this. I love it. Absolutely love it. The guy who wrote this, his website, is very open that this is essentially, you're playing a different game if you're playing with the All-Seeing Eye, but what a game. What's the show submenu? Show buttons, illusionary walls. Let's do that. Okay, so it highlight that. No, that's a rubble. Well, let's just leave that on. And I see we could show monsters too. I'm going to turn it all on. I want to see what we can see. Items. Hints. Oh, that is fantastic. So these are not like in-game hints. These are, someone has gone and you know, made their map of the game and given you pretty much everything about the game. This is very much like, I'm very aware that this is not the developer who did this, but it's almost like having the director's commentary on a DVD. I'm kind of loving it. I really am. What's that? I see. So that is the cubby. No, I don't see the monsters. Oh, there we go. There. So you have to actually see them, it looks like. They're not showing up on the map by themselves. You'd say to yourself, how hard can it be to right-click on something? This game will make you feel that it is very hard to right-click on things. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in this game picking up thrown items. Probably, especially on the first level, it is completely unnecessary to be, you know, throwing items. These are kobolds. They're very weak. You're going to be able to kill them without a problem. But I feel like it's a good habit to get into. All right. Oops, missed one. Yeah, there's a frustrating thing that happens later in the game when, you know, your thrown items. It smells terrible here. Oh, because it's a sewer. I missed that on the Sega CD version. Maybe they censored it. I don't know. Or maybe I just didn't notice it. You know, you start getting items that are actually really kind of important to throw. Can I close it? Oh, I can. How interesting. And then you lose track of them. You know, you get into the fray and you just lose track of everything you were holding. And then you go on to some other level, and then you have to face the choice of, well, do I trudge back 4 levels and find the thing that I lost? Because you can do that. That's a thing that's possible to do. But do you want to? And the answer is usually, God, you totally don't want to. It is silly that I've left one of my cleric mages holding their mace, since they can't hit anyone with it. So let's give them the holy symbol. Oh, there's my Ginsu. And actually, oh, we never rested. Let's rest. Sure, why not? Now they're going to rest for 16 hours in order to be able to heal. There you go. So an entire day in the dungeon. More than an entire day in the dungeon. Because they heal, they spend all their spells, and then they have to rest again to get the spells back. What is that? That is an item. I see multiple items. Okay. And then this, I think, is a toggle, right? Okay. And that just closes it. All right. I could swear there was an illusionary wall that we've missed on this level. I'm going to peek. It's a great use of this little... Well, this is where we came in. I don't think we can actually go there. I don't know where that is. Interesting. Okay, so right there, we're right next to something. Can I hit it? No. All right, well, rather than just go downstairs, this video is about All-Seeing Eye, so let's actually use it to cheat and see what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose Explore the Level, really set it all to Explored, yes. Now we've got our additional hints. If you went through the door at location 3, a wall is here, okay. I see, so depending on what you did here. That's fascinating. So I've been playing this game for years. I never knew that. The configuration of the maze changes depending on whether you went north or east here. That's fascinating. And then what's this area? This is an odd area that's not accessible by normal means. The dungeon features mostly don't work. Maybe it was for debugging purposes. Fascinating. And there's a stair going down, but it says the stairs don't work. So there you go. Well, that is amazing. There's a dart. That dart is a +2 dart. I had no idea. Where is my dart? It's right here, right? Dart +2. Oh, I guess it just said it and I missed it. Well, let's get back to the stairs down, which is where we finished the Sega CD version. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the nicer quality menu because I don't think you need to see my menus anymore. We're going to go here. And here we are. Can I pick that up? No, I can't. All right, and let's go downstairs. I believe in the Good Old Games version, this is how copy protection was done in the old days. A lot of times, what you would have is some sort of code that you, in theory, needed the manual to do. And in fact, so I promise you, this copy protection is inactive. When you run the Good Old Games version, which you've bought, I hope, it tells you as the game begins, type anything, it'll be fine. But let's pretend, for the sake of argument, that that's not true. I'm going to open the rule book. And for this, I'm going to switch back to here. Right, and it's lines on the page with this symbol. Let's find that page. Okay, and so now we have that page. Find line 6, word 6. So we would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, word 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if the copy protection was working, we would have to type that. And games reacted differently based on if you got that wrong. Some games would immediately kick you out back to DOS prompt and say, sorry, you failed the copy protection check. Truly evil games, and there were a few of these, some games would lock at the prompt and make you just try again. Truly evil games would let you keep playing, but penalize your character in some overwhelming way such that you're guaranteed to lose the game. I'll have to look up which games that were. I know they existed, and I don't remember off the top of my head which those were. Right, so this has been The All-Seeing Eye, and at this point I'm going to cut this video here. Am I going to continue to do a Let's Play of Eye of the Beholder? I'm really tempted to. I'm really tempted to do a run-through with The All-Seeing Eye, in part because if I do that, then I can get this game out of my head forever. I feel like if I do the cheat run, then I've seen everything the game has to offer and I never have to play it again. So I might do that. I'm not going to make any promises. I might make those members-only videos because really, guys, this is you have to be a certain level of nerd to really want to watch me play this game rather than playing it yourself, right? So if you're a Tea Leaves member at the live stream level, if I do that playthrough, you will definitely have access to it. If I do the playthrough and it proves to be really compelling, interesting content against my expectations, then maybe I will, in fact, publish it to the channel. I'm reserving the right to change my mind about that. But in any event, I do appreciate your joining me here today. The channel is Tea Leaves Programming. Today we've been gaming like it's 1979, playing 1991's Eye of the Beholder by SSI. Thanks so much for joining us.